Justin Baldoni's deposition seemingly reveals yet another shocking allegation that Ryan Reynolds terrorized Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Apparently, Hollywood is not surprised by any of this. And did Ryan actually threaten Justin himself as well? Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. This deposition from Justin Baldoni has been revealing a lot of stuff, including this new one against The Rock. And Hollywood itself is now speaking up, saying, look, Ryan Reynolds' twisted double life is not surprising anybody. We all knew about it. I want to start by saying, look, this is a rumor. This is something I've heard, but it's a rumor now I've heard from other close sources that seem to echo this rumor as potential fact. I can't confirm it 100%, but I keep seeing it out there from other people reporting on this case. And that's the fact that apparently Ryan Reynolds himself allegedly threatened Justin Baldoni to drop all this a while back. And that has terrified Justin and his family, obviously. And if that's true, I don't know why it's not in the lawsuit. Maybe that's just hearsay. They had no specific proof they could put in there. Maybe it'll come up in more deposition hearings, but I'm just horrified. And given what I've been experiencing with Blake and Ryan through their own subpoena requests, I wouldn't put it past them. They will do whatever it takes to win this, even if it's lie, cheat, steal, and destroy the Constitution. That's what my take is, my opinion on this. And Hollywood is sharing that. Rob Shutter over at Shutter Scoop has learned that Hollywood circles are buzzing, and not because of Justin's text, but because the alleged angry husband confrontation fits what many insiders quietly call Ryan Reynolds' two very different personas. In newly revealed court documents, Baldoni claims Reynolds scolded him during a tense meeting that lasted 5-6 hours, allegedly speaking to Justin like a 5-year-old. But while the text shocked fans, industry veterans say they've heard stories like this before. Now, this was in January 2024 when that meeting happened. If you missed our first video, click on over here, read the text. I'll put it at the end as well, but you can watch it there, come back. People think Ryan is the funny, charming guy from the commercials, one longtime studio insider tells Shutter Scoop. But behind closed doors, he's a lot more intense. He switches. It's like there's Hollywood Ryan, and then there's Ryan only insiders meet. Another source says Reynolds is fiercely protective of Blake Lively, sometimes to the point of creating what colleagues describe as a very different energy than the relaxed, jokey persona he's famous for. He controls his image better than almost any A-lister, a talent manager explains, but the Baldoni situation is not shocking. People in this town have seen the other side. Yeah, we know about this. TJ Miller has talked about it. Director Tim Miller from Deadpool has talked about being used by Ryan. All this stuff has come up, and then usually Ryan reaches out and makes amends and then does something where these people then go, we're good. Never mind. But now I want to go through this other deposition moment here, because to me, this is pretty shocking. Now they're talking about someone, a woman. I'm going to make my own allegation here, an assumption that it's Stephanie Jones, who represented The Rock. I'll explain why I'm thinking it's that, but again, not confirmed. So don't take me for my word here. She had said on that call, talking about she represented The Rock, which Stephanie Jones did at one point. And she had said on that call that Mr. Reynolds had like terrorized The Rock, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, or something to that extent. Terrorized him. Something about a letter. Well, that plays. Ryan's always writing these really aggressive, passive aggressive, but aggressive letters, demanding things. I don't remember the details, but something about like he had written a letter and it was like they wouldn't do press together. I don't know. It was a lot of gossip, to be fair, but that's why I remember laughing, because I was just like, oh, do you feel supported by her on that call? Yeah, I said earlier, it's kind of felt like, oh, don't worry. She's this and that. It will be fine. The movie's going to come out and it'll be awesome. And everybody's had a bad experience with her. It was like that kind of call with Blake and Ryan, it seems. And did you feel like she believed what you were relying to her about your experience on set? Yes, I don't remember sharing much, but what I did share, I just shared the truth. And she said, yeah. What do you remember sharing with her about your experience on set? We're going to come back to the rock of it, but I just want to read what we have. I specifically remember sharing the situation with our trainer and asking him about what he thought Miss Lively might weigh when we shot that scene where I had to pick her up because of my back, and how they then confronted me the next day, and how this trainer evidently then went and told her that I was asking about her weight or something. And then how that became this big thing and they sat me down. I just remember her kind of not being able to believe that was even a thing. I believe I shared with her that I'd made a comment about the way Jenny Slate looked in her wardrobe, and then I used the word sexy, and I think she started responding by joking about how, again, I don't want to, if it's okay, repeat the words that she said, but describing, generalizing the women and their fragility. So meaning Stephanie, if this is Stephanie or whoever this was calling them out. I then shared, I think I talked about the wardrobe, how hard it was with the wardrobe. Blake's clearly was the problem with the wardrobe. The fans, everybody revolted. They all tried to get Blake to change it. She wouldn't. And just that I felt like it was just a very hard experience. Like, that's the kind of what I remember. Did you remember anything else? And no, and then they change and go to another topic here. But interesting here. So again, take this with a grain of salt, because Stephanie Jones, not the seemingly most honest person, will basically sell you anything to get her way. But just to be clear, in this article from way back, she did talk about The Rock. Well, they brought up The Rock because The Rock was a client for her. Hold on, I thought Johnson, there he is. How she did rep Johnson. Johnson dropped Jones, the publicist, calling Stephanie Jones an erratic screamer. This is Matthew Baldoni of Puck. Yeah, I've heard that from a lot of people. And then, yes, bigger clients was Dwayne Johnson. DJ is what he is referred to. That is true. As someone who's worked with The Rock, I know they call him DJ. And for the record, in my experience with DJ, which was multiple times in person, unlike Ryan, the hardest working dude I've ever met. So in it, takes the time to really to see you. Is he a hard worker? Could that be threatening to others? Absolutely. But I saw him as nothing but an absolute professional. Now, Johnson dropped Jones in April 2023 after ongoing tension between Jones and his team, including an executive at his production company. 4 former Joneswork employees said his exit was a significant loss, as Joneswork not only did his personal PR, but also represented his production company, $7, and did work for his tequila brand, Terramana. After Johnson left, Jones tried to downplay his exit to her employees, according to the former Joneswork executive. People ask, what happened with The Rock? The former exec said she just said to them, oh, he's just having internal changes. We're best friends. We still talk every day. He's dying to come back and work with me, but they're just doing internal things. So she never really wanted to admit what was going on. But what was interesting is soon after sort of the press came out that he left and everything happened, there was this hit piece in the Wrap, which actually we covered here on Popcorn Planet. And I defended The Rock because I didn't believe a word of it. And I come to suspect this was a hit piece written by Stephanie Jones, written by Humberto Gonzalez, who has come after me. He's just such a, in my opinion, absolute scumbag, worst of the worst. I don't ever believe a word this dude shares. That's just my personal belief. Best of luck to you, Humberto. But he's just slimy. He's always been slimy to me. He has a reputation to others I've worked with as slimy, and that's always what he said. But now he works over at The Wrap and does this stuff. And yeah, he just wrote this massive hit piece about The Rock being too late, peeing in water bottles. The whole thing was really silly. It was all about this movie. It was all about Red One, but also referring to Red Notice, which was the film that both DJ and Ryan shared in. Now, the conflict between The Rock and DJ was talked about and then was miraculously resolved. But I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I do believe there was probably frustration between both of them, to be fair. Ryan's his own person. Dwayne's a very busy person, obviously big, huge stars. But from my experience, the Rock is all, The Rock was always there, always on time, always doing his stuff. I don't know what happened in this movie, to be fair, but I just don't sense this was really the issue. I think this was a hit piece. And in fact, Amazon came up to defend The Rock. Dwayne Johnson and $7 have been incredible partners on Red One, a film that audiences are all ages are going to love this holiday season. Our testing has been very strong. The reaction from Cinecon speaks for itself, and we couldn't have made it without Dwayne's constant work and support. Any reporting that implies that we got to this point with him showing up 7-8 hours late is both ridiculous and false. So there you go. Amazon coming out to defend Dwayne in this. And look, I don't know what happened, but from my experience, I don't buy it. Do I believe there was probably frustration on set with Ryan? Absolutely. Now that I know everything I know about Ryan, I'm even more Team Rock than I was before. Look, Rock's always had issues with people like Vin Diesel. I remember hearing when I went to a junket at the Fast and the Furious, Dwayne was there on time, as was every cast member there on time. I think it was Furious 7. There was the one when Paul Walker passed. And Dwayne's there, everybody's there. And who was 7 hours late? Do you know who it was? Because I was there. It was Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel not only showed up late, he showed up with a boombox. to sing the Paul Walker song by Wiz Khalifa, and he interrupted every journalist who was doing their junket. Hey, what's up going on? Hey, blaring this music that nobody clearly could have had the clearance for in the junket. And then you could just tell everybody, and I only can assume DJ as well, was just annoyed. Like, dude, we're doing our job. You're late. Why are you interrupting? Like, come on. It was very clear Vin Diesel was a problem on that set. And so I didn't see it be The Rock. I saw it be Vin. And now we've learned how much Ryan takes over a set, et cetera, et cetera. This does seem believable to me. I got to be honest that Mr. Reynolds would have terrorized The Rock. Perhaps he was later. I don't even know. Once. It can happen. He's a big, huge star. This was during COVID. There's a lot of stuff that can happen. Not ideal, but my God, why did this even get leaked, right? Why would this even be out? Clearly because Stephanie Jones was upset. But she had to put on a public facing to everyone else and defend him. And so clearly threw Mr. Reynolds under the bus. Reynolds and Blake, she threw him under the bus, as she seemingly often does. So I'm torn here because I don't know fully how much I believe Stephanie Jones, if that is indeed who the source here is. But at the same time, it's kind of like, well, you know, why not throw him under the bus if he really was the bad guy? Why not just own it and say to Justin, yeah, The Rock was a pain in the butt. And that's why Ryan flipped out. No, she chose to still defend the guy who left and throw the other guy under the bus, which to me is pretty telling. It makes me believe this even more. I don't know about you guys, but it makes me believe this anymore. Now, again, gossip. This is gossip, guys. All this is gossip, so take it as you will. But to see others come forward and acknowledge, oh yeah, Ryan's incredibly aggressive, I believe this even more. Add that to the rumors about Justin being threatened, which again, I'm only going to call rumors as of now because I wasn't there. I haven't heard this from Justin. I've never spoken to Justin. I've heard it through sources who have spoken to Justin, or spoken through production people rather. I do believe Ryan might have gone there. That's my personal belief. What do you guys think? We'll give you more definitive stuff as we get it. We are always researching and looking at this as best we can. So hit that subscribe, hit that bell for all alerts if you haven't already, so you get notified when we do. Smash the thumbs up and leave a comment when you get those notifications. And tell me what your thoughts on this. Who do you believe in the story? Do you think Ryan might have terrorized The Rock? Do you think it was both? I want to hear your thoughts. But I'm Team Rock here. Let me know what you think. Stay tuned. We got a lot more coming here on Popcorn Planet.